So you're starting to understand that you need to leverage video for your online business, whether you're doing video content marketing like YouTube, or you just need to create sales videos or a short video for your capture pages. You need to easily create a video, and you don't have a ton of time to sit down through long, boring tutorials on how to use editing software. You just need to learn how to do the basics quickly so you can get your video finished and working for you and your business. Hey, this is Leah Rae from ToddandLeahRae.com. In this video, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to give you the straight to the point tutorials of the basic edits that you need to do on your video so that you can get to work right away and get those videos up and published. Now, if you're new to our channel, we created this channel to help you online entrepreneurs truly create the time freedom that you and your family deserve. Now let's dive into my computer where I'm going to use Camtasia. It's a great simple software for editing. Camtasia is a great choice as it's more streamlined and easier to use than something that's real complex like Adobe Premiere. It doesn't have a ton of super complex tools like Premiere does, but it's going to do absolutely everything that you really need for your business, and it's very user-friendly and simpler than what you would find with all those complex tools in Premiere. Now, if you don't yet have Camtasia and you want to check it out, I will have our affiliate link down somewhere in the description. You can open that up to check it out. Now let's dive in.
First, open Camtasia and then select the option for a new project. Once you have Camtasia open, simply drag and drop your video file into the media bin. When the file's in the media bin, go ahead and add it to what's called track 1, and now you can go ahead and start editing. Now, the very first thing that you should learn how to do is simply to make cuts on your video, because at the least, the beginning of your video and the end of your video, you'll have to cut. Plus, if you're like me and you do some flubs or mess ups during the video, you can easily cut those out as well. So if you notice, I have track 1 highlighted here in yellow. I'll click off so you see what that looks like when it's not highlighted, but you need to have this highlighted to make any cuts, and then you can simply drag this or click where you want it to be to make your cut. So let's say here I want to cut right before he talks. So you see there's audio waves here. That's what those little spikes are. I actually like to have this zoomed in just a bit more. So if I want to cut here, I make sure it's highlighted. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can simply hit this button right here, or you can hit the S on your keyboard and poof, it cuts. So then you can just delete this stuff over here. Now, you could hit delete on your keyboard, or what's smarter is you right click and there's something called ripple delete. You can do this with control delete on your keyboard or just with the mouse. But ripple delete, watch what this does. It actually deletes it and slides the rest of the file over. If you were just to delete, it would leave a gap where that was. When you do ripple delete, it slides everything over for you. In addition to just simply cutting things, you can also move your cursor, move this little thingy. You can also move this over to where you want to maybe cut something out. You can grab this red part of it, open it up, and here you can also delete. So you can do delete or ripple delete here. So I'm going to do control on my keyboard and hit the delete button, and now it deleted that whole section that I had highlighted. You can always, control Z to undo. And if you ever want to listen to this, make sure that you want to delete it first. You can hit the play button and it's going to play for you whatever is in that highlighted section. Let's go ahead and control delete and delete that out. And so now you can look, you see here there's a little kind of stitched line that's showing us that we cut something out there.
4 days. In this video,
So it's just simply cut right there. Easy peasy. Now I'm going to show you how to do a transition. So if you do make a cut, so we can do a cut here, and let's do a cut here. Ripple delete, control. And you can actually transition this over. Instead of just going one frame to the next, we can actually put a transition in here. So if you click on the transitions up here, you got all kinds of options. So you could do, say, this flip option. If you hover over it, it shows you what it does. So just drag and drop. You hit play.
I'm gonna show you stuff.
So something kind of fun you can do visually speaking. We have very short attention spans, so anytime you can add something like this that makes people pay attention again, graphics, other things that we'll show in the editing, it is helpful. Now, if you're doing content type videos for YouTube, Facebook, other things, it is helpful to have what's called a lower third. A lower third is simply your information come across the bottom of the screen. And what's neat about Camtasia is it has this functionality already within it, which makes it very simple. Simply click on this library tab. Then make sure under library, it has the default library for Camtasia that you purchase. So our Camtasia version is a 2018, so it's Camtasia 2018. That's the default library that came when we bought this software. They have a folder here for lower thirds. You can just open that up, and you can see all of their options that they have here. So let's just grab one so we can play with it. So if you double click on them, they will let you preview to see what they look like. So your name, position, and some lines. So I think that looks just fine. Let's throw this in here. And now that I drag and dropped it in here, you see up on the right, here is where we put in our information. So you can add your title, and here it says position, but I think for what we do, it makes a lot more sense to just either have your channel name or your website. Now, we can also change the colors, which is great. So I don't like this orange. It's not my thing. So you can change the colors. That's a lot more my style. If you wanted to, you could also click on the A to the right, and that's going to allow you to change the font for the words also. So I'm going to change this because, again, I don't like the orange. So you can change that to whatever you want. And so let's see what this looks like.
And show you stuff about me.
Mr. G. So we probably want to adjust this a little bit. Put this maybe down here. I would probably try something, maybe this one that would stand out a little bit more against the background, since the white kind of blends in a little. But that is how you do a lower third. It really helps to add professionalism to your videos and is a branding opportunity to get your website or your channel information in front of your viewers. Now, one thing that will keep your audience retention, get people still watching your video, is not only doing graphics and pop-ups on your screen, but also changing the view of the camera. And you can do that even if you just have one camera that you're shooting with, which most of us will. You can zoom in and zoom out on different frames, drawing attention again to your video, helping people to really focus in. So to do that, you're simply going to make a cut on your video. I'm going to actually get rid of that here. I'm actually going to delete this, ripple delete. Now this is my normal view for the video. What I want to do is when I make this cut, I want to zoom in. So say he's saying something important or you want to make a specific point. If you were to lean into someone to say it, if you were talking to someone, it's a good opportunity to do the same thing with your video. Simply click on the clip that you want to edit, and over here you see something called scale. And this is currently at 100%. I would change that maybe to 140. Hit enter. Now we do have to recenter this a bit because his head is quite towards the edge. So we can watch and see what this looks like. Zooms in. It encourages people to refocus on the video as things are changing and aren't predictable. Then later in the video you can zoom back out. Just make your cuts. S on the keyboard. Highlight. Ripple delete that. Highlight this. Just go back to your scale up here. And make this 100. And just readjust it. I'm dragging it up. So you can move this anywhere you want. Okay? So just drag it up. And there you go. So you're back to being recentered. Another way to keep people's attention is to add graphics, especially if you are doing some sort of educational thing and you want to make a point. You're teaching them a specific point. You're going through a list of things or whatever. It is great to use graphics to put those on top of your videos to really keep people's attention and to strongly make your point. So in order to do that, you can go over to this animation section on the left. And here are some default options. Now there's all kinds of different things you can do here. We'll just leave this as is, grab something simple. And I'm just going to double click on this to put it over in my screen. And here we go. So this is the graphic. If you double click in it, that's where you can type. So you can type whatever you want there. So if you highlight the text in here, you can change your font to whatever you would like. You can change the color, the size, underline, all kinds of stuff. You can also grab the square, the graphic itself, and adjust it. So you can make it long and skinny, and you can make it tall. You can do whatever you want. Now if you're looking down below, you can see here how many frames this graphic will be here for before it goes away. So you can actually drag this around, move it wherever you want, and you can expand it or contract it to make it longer or shorter on your video. Now if you play this as is, it's just going to appear and disappear, just like that. Now what you can do is add a behavior to make it do something a little more fancy when it's coming in. So if you hover over this, it actually shows you what these are, how they work. What I like to do is just have one default. So I have a default thing that I use for my graphics, default text, all that kind of stuff. I use the same thing every time. I use the same transitions. I use the same behaviors, so I don't have to think about it when I'm editing my videos. It makes it just faster for me to just rock and roll. Just grab it, drag it, and drop it on your graphic. And you'll see here on the right, you've got information about it. So coming in, it's going to do a reveal from the left. So if you wanted it to go from a different direction from the right, you could change it. That's fine. During, what it's going to do is it's still going to be doing stuff. And then out to the right. So what I actually like to do is remove the during, because I want it just to be solid while it's there. So I'll show you what this looks like. So it slides in, it reveals in. It's solid here because I turned it off for the during, and then on the way out, it zooms back out to the right. Now you may also have to make changes to your audio. So maybe your audio isn't as clear or as loud as you'd like it to be on your video. That's just fine. You can make these edits at the beginning, or you can wait to the end. If you've waited to the end, you're going to have several clips, so you'd either have to go and highlight all of them, but the simple way to do this is hold Control on your keyboard and hit the A button on your keyboard, and then it's going to select all. So this has all of your video selected. Now there's a few ways to do this, but here's one of the ways you can do it. Go to Audio Effects. Then the first thing you might want to do is just do noise removal, and this is going to help clear up any background noise that may be showing up. Just grab it. You already have everything selected, so you can just pop it down here, and it'll apply it to everything. You see it says Effect Added. You'll also see this over on the details. Over here, we now have something that says Noise Removal. And so there's, you can change this in general. It's probably good just as it is. Another audio effect you may want to add to your videos is volume leveling. You can grab this, drop it down. Again, this is all still selected, so it applies it to all of it. It says Effect Added. And this allows you to easily just make your volume quieter or louder. So it defaults in as medium, but you can play with this, choose something different. I think we usually use custom, and then we change the gain to 18. Make it a bit louder. Now this is going to all depend on your audio for your video and what your mic is picking up. So don't just use this for what I'm doing. Use it, listen to it, and see what makes sense for your video. Now in addition to editing the audio of your video, you can also edit the colors and some visual things here with visual effects. You could do a color adjustment. You could add a specific hue to your picture. You would just simply do the same thing, grab, drag, and drop. And then you'll have the ability to change your brightness, change your contrast, saturation, anything that you want for your video to make the colors really what you want them to be. If you don't like what you did, you want to start over, that's okay. You can just hit this little X for color adjustment, and it's going to remove that for you. Now, after you have your video fully edited and you're ready to essentially save that video, what you're going to do is come up to the share button in the upper right corner, and you always want to share this as a local file. Never, never, never send this directly to YouTube or Vimeo or anywhere else, because you want a copy of this yourself. Because guess what? If you put this up on YouTube or somewhere else and they maybe shut down your account, they do something funny, your video is now gone. You always want your own copy. So save it first to a local drive. Now you can create defaults for yourself here, and I will show you what we have that we're using for ours. Dimensions 920 by 1080. MP4 video. That's what we want. And you would simply use this Add Edit preset to create your own version of that. Hit Next. This is where you're going to name your video. And in the folder file, that's where you can change where you're actually going to save the video to. Hit Finish. And now it's rendering the project. This can take some time depending on how large your file is. Once this is finished rendering, it will actually pop up the video in the final rendered version, and it'll start automatically playing on your computer to let you know that it is finished. Then you can take it, put it up on YouTube, Vimeo, create your sales page, whatever you're doing with it, it is now ready to go.
Now in the upper right corner of your screen, you should see a video that will help you create better videos and how to use them to make sales in your business. There's also a link at the top of the description if you don't see the video up on your screen. You definitely want to click on this video and watch this one next so that you can create money-making videos as quickly as possible. Again, this is Leah Ray from toddandleahray.com. Happy editing, and I'll see you soon.